Feel free to look in as often as you like. Always happy to serve you.
Ah, there you are. Tell me how it went. I must say, I'm glad to see you both back safe. Did you successfully dispatch the Rasetsu?
Well, we nearly came unstuck, but luckily we have some help from on high. Not that I was any use in the battle. Anyway, Chief, don't keep the lady waiting.
Ah, arigato. I realized this was a matter of retribution for you, Ujishige. But nevertheless, a life is a life. I take full responsibility. And this specimen will not go to waste. I will need time to carry out tests, however. I won't be able to tell you anything before morning.
Sounds like my work is done then. So I'll be taking my leave of you for now. I'm in the mood for drinking. A lot. And alone.
Welcome back. Do you have a moment? I heard about you defeating the Deathstalker. I'm sure that will be a great burden lifted for Ujishige-san. He used to have a lot of wild and violent episodes, you know? When I was little, I remember him getting blind drunk and throwing himself into the sea. The poor fishermen had to cast their nets and haul him out. And that was just one of many similar incidents. I think he lives with the constant pain of losing his samurai master and other companions. But what you've done may have eased that a little. I don't suppose he'll say much about it, but I'm sure he's very grateful to you. Oh, do you remember that huge karakuri we were wondering about? I've made some good progress with my research and worked quite a few things out now. I was hoping to tell you about it. It seems it used to stand beside the spirit wheel and somehow worked in concert with it. The spirit wheel itself is a karakuri, you see? Used to distribute the celestial thread that arrives in Minato all over town. This other tower seems to have been used to accumulate thread for powering other large devices. A complement to the wheel in a way. You remember I told you it was shown with kemono corpses around it? Well, I'm wondering if it was some kind of weapon. Even though so much of our heritage has been lost, there are still lots of things our forefathers left behind for us in Minato. It's clear that karakuri were all around them, a part of their everyday lives. My hope is that one day we can restore Minato to the way it was. There's no rush. Can I be of service?
made some progress with my research. Come. Sorry to keep you on tenterhooks, but I finished my examination of the Rasetsu now. As I'd predicted, a paltry amount of celestial thread remains in the Deathstalker's system. Far less than I would normally expect to see. It must have been struggling to absorb thread for quite some time, which probably explains its appearance on the Spirit Isle. It was trying to satisfy its hunger.
But why there? It's hardly the easiest place to get to. Why not head for the canyon first?
Yes, we can only conclude there must be some reason why it chose the island. The question is, what reason? Perhaps it was routed by a stronger kimono, for example?
Bakana. There's no other kimono that could have threatened that thing.
Well, nevertheless, it's clear that this Rasetsu was fighting for its life, searching desperately for celestial thread, which should ordinarily be abundant in these parts. Just as humans have fought over land and resources since the dawn of time, kimono try to gain supremacy over those around them in order to survive. It's the providence of nature. Why else would it have appeared at the frozen fort? It was hungry, and it set its sights on the Rasetsu and its territory, perhaps. But Amaterasu, the bird of auspice, is said to have lived for many centuries now. Assessing its behavior with logical reasoning may well be futile. Let us revert our attention back to the Rasetsu, and the attack on it by Amaterasu at the frozen fort. The after effects of that conflict may already be starting to show, in disturbances in the weather or surrounding flora, for example. I hope my fears are unfounded, but Minato could conceivably be affected, so I wonder if you'd revisit the castle and look around? Consider it a hunting request, if you will.
Nandayo. We escaped mortal danger only to be told to turn around and march straight back into it? Well, sounds like we got our orders, Chief. Let's just hope we don't run into any more of those wolves. Wait, doesn't the forest look strange to you over there? That must be what the sister was talking about. I'll look around and see if anything else looks unusual. Shout if you run into trouble. I had a feeling you wouldn't take much longer dispatching that thing. Excellent work. But look at this place. Clouds of spring blossoms here in the snowy peaks. That was an unusually powerful boar. Must have left the old Blossom Trail and crossed the snowy mountains to get here. And it would have to be tough to make that journey. But how could one king tusk be so different from another? And why is it so hot here? There shouldn't be flowers blooming in the snow like this. We should get back and report to the sensei.
Can you hear me? Either of you. If you can hear, then answer.
Natsume, dosta? Are you in trouble?
A huge kimono. He made me
Oi, Natsume, what's going on? What huge kimono? We need to get back to town fast. I've got a very bad feeling about this. Attacking? It's just another kimono in the end. Not to be trusted. First things first, let's make sure everyone's safe. What a damned mess!
I don't believe...
No! This can't be!
Fujishige-san! Disaster struck! Thank the spirits you're back safe. The town is... it's too awful. But we have to tend to the wounded. Can you see what you can do? We need help. All the help we can get. arigatou gozaimasu. The last of the fires have finally been put out. It was the Bird of Auspice. Amaterasu attacked us. She destroyed people's homes. Tried to kill people even. We did our best to defend ourselves, but it was so sudden. The hunters had their hands full just trying to get people to refuge. Karakuri all over Minato are in ruins. Even the spirit wheel.
The situation is dire on the seaward side of town. Every residence lies in ruin.
We were powerless to do anything. All we could do was run for cover. It was pitiful. The bird of... well, Amaterasu has flown over the town in the past. But she's never shown any sign of attacking before. We never felt that we were in any danger from her. I suppose we were reassured by that. We felt secure. But we'd been lulled into a false sense of security.
Kemono are oblivious to the feelings of humans. Large kemono, the great bear and Amaterasu for example, see humans like ants. A nuisance easily brushed aside. But we treat kemono as they treat us. If they are a nuisance, we too strive to eliminate them. What in times of peace you call the bird of auspice, in times of war, you will simply call the enemy.
You're so right.
What is lost is lost. We must turn our faces from the past and gaze into the future.
But... what can we... Actually, yes. You're right again. There is something I can do.
Perhaps a perusal of my wares would be as good a place to start as any. And what of you, Hunter? An essential task, I have little doubt. But perhaps not one to prioritize over an assessment of the town? Haste hurts progress, as they say. I believe your place should be here in Minato's greatest hour of need.
My leg! We were naive. We should never have assumed it wouldn't attack us.
There you are. Seen the town? It's a wreck. Homes in tatters. People wounded everywhere. Some worse than that. Damn that kimono. This is Otsuki Castle all over again. Ripped apart. Not a soul left. Cold. Dead. I was powerless even then. All I got was an eye. One measly eye of one measly wolf. Ksaw. I won't let history repeat itself.
I don't believe this is happening.
Say Amaterasu comes back. Would Minato get wiped out? Don't bother trying to be a hero. My father said the same thing to me once, only to have a samurai cut him down without a second thought. If Minato's flattened, I don't have anywhere else to go. No home, no family. No point thinking about the future. We don't even know if we have one.
Everything we see and touch turns to dust eventually. Objects, people, places. Minato is no different. It must have an end. Like everyone else, I've seen my fair share of ends. More than my fair share, perhaps. The village I grew up in burned to the ground overnight. The thieves who torched it. A pile of rotting corpses died. Everybody I know.
My father always used to say, people are scary creatures, but kemono are even worse. Humans attack out of hatred or greed. They destroy property because it's in the way. Kemono don't think like that. That bird was just acting on instinct. Flying around, beating its wings, snapping its jaws, and not even needing a reason to do it. But when nature bares its fangs at us, sometimes we have to stand up to it. For our families and for our friends.
I have a good picture of how things are around the fort now. I could hear everything over the karakuri. No doubt there's a connection with this disaster. It's imperative that we act swiftly. Although, I'm at a bit of a loss to know quite how. For the time being, ask around and see what details you can discover about Amaterasu. I need to gather my thoughts.
There is so little I can do to help. How fortune smiled upon us when she led you our way.
If we all pitch in and work together.
What mishap is this? What a miserable sight. The hunter's town in such disarray. Were there more like you among your ranks? Perhaps this tragedy could have been prevented. But for mere mortals, the aggressor was too strong. The kemono grow ever more desperate. They tussle for territory. They clash for prey. Hunger now drives them to kill one another. And Minato is not the only casualty. Soon across all of Azuma, nature will be destroyed. Plants will wither. Lizards will howl. Mountains will crumble. Until finally rising waters will cover it all. But in you is the power to stop this. In you, there is the seed. For some, it is a duty. For others, destiny. And for you, you have the strength to hunt these gargantuan kemono. But do you have the will? What compels you to hunt now? The same blithe answer still. Then you will overcome this challenge with ease, no doubt. There is resolve in your words, unfaltering and true. Which leaves but one thing to say. You must value life, or all that awaits is death. Above all, survive.
Boy, get over here!
Has anyone seen my...
That giant bird did this, surely.
We know Amaterasu was attempting to establish territory around the old castle. That resulted in the ousted Rasetsu's failed attempt at taking the Spirit Isle. Yes, we're seeing more and more kemono leaving their usual stomping grounds. And there can only be one logical cause, of course!
Of course. Maybe this is one time we should just jump to the conclusion, Sensei.
All across Azuma, and perhaps beyond, the celestial thread that sustains kemono is drying up. That explains why Amaterasu targeted the town. Celestial thread is now in abundant supply here.
Are you trying to say...
Exactly. It's trying to absorb Minato into its territory. Reviving the Karakuri on the Spirit Isle was... cavalier.
But that was done for Minato's survival. The Hime-sama, the elders, everyone agreed it was the right thing to do. Anyway, what's done is done. Now we have to eliminate this bird before it gets too damn comfortable in our town. We need your skills here. Find out where Amaterasu is now.
No. The burden's too great for a lone hunter. And besides, rather than blindly searching, waiting here would be far more practical. We can be sure it will return. It will be eager to conclude its territorial claim.
Then we have to bolster our defenses. And fast. Can we ready the Karakuri we used against the Earthbreaker? This is akin to siege warfare, though the investment is a single foe. We need to prepare and deploy carefully. I'll take command.
Goodness, Ujishige! Such motivation and not a sake cup in sight!
Who do you think I am? I was a samurai general once. Now, I've got 100 things to do. I'll leave the Karakuri with you.
Well, his military expertise will certainly be useful. But we can't ignore the overwhelming strength of our enemy. We need a secret weapon. In fact, I was just talking to Natsume about that. It's probably better if she explains herself. You should find her assessing the damage to the spirit wheel.
managed to get the wheel working again. Now it's completely mangled. What we did on the Spirit Isle was... No. It's alright. I can fix this. I've just been talking to Suzura-sensei. Do you remember what I told you before about how there used to be another tower next to the Spirit Wheel? A second giant karakuri? From what I can tell by studying that stone tablet, it was a weapon used to repel kemono. I think we can reconstruct it. Making it sound easy. Obviously, we couldn't possibly build it from scratch at this stage. But if we fix the wheel and hooked another old karakuri into its mechanism, we should be able to make it work like the other tower did. Or at least, that's the theory. The first stage is to have Ren-san and her crew repair the main structure. We could really do with your help too. Would you be able to gather the materials we need for the karakuri part? It's a very old device that I can't put together with things I have lying around. It's going to take some rare materials with unusual properties. As it happens with the kemono fighting each other for territory at the moment, their bodies seem to be undergoing changes. We might be able to get the sort of materials we need from these clashing kemono, but they're fiercer than ever. So please be extra careful. I don't want you to get hurt. Arigato. Then let's not waste any time. Amaterasu is just another kemono. I'll do whatever I can to help. I'll do whatever... I'll do whatever I can to help. Protecting me, if we can just get that karakuri working in time. I'll do whatever I can. I'll do whatever I... If we can just get that karakuri working in time. more to go. I expect strange things have been happening to the landscape around there. There could be powerful Kimono about. Don't be taken by surprise. Is there anything I can help with? Amaterasu is just another Kimono. Protecting Minato. I'll do whatever I can to help. If we can just get that karakuri working in time.
A path over the sea to the isle. Surely the influence of the Rasetsu is not dissimilar to the situation before.
That should be all the materials we need. Could you get them back to town as quickly as possible?
Oh, you've got the materials? Come to the foot of the spirit wheel then.
The repairs are complete. Now we just need to hook in the karakuri. Arigato. That's perfect. We'll be able to make great progress with this. With Uchishige-san organizing everyone to help, we only have a few finishing touches to make now before the weapon is ready. I've never seen him working so hard before.
Maybe we're seeing an echo of the man he used to be. Not that I know.
So many people who end up in Minato have had difficult pasts. Uchishige-san is no different. But I think he's finally letting go and rediscovering his samurai roots.
Minato is a unique place. A lot of different grains working together here in unexpected ways. Somehow, you all seem to rub along. And when a crisis hits the town, you all prop each other up. It's really quite inspiring. So, you can count on me and my crew to do our bit too.
We already think of you and your carpenters as part of the town. We're all in this together against Amaterasu. Would you mind going to see how Uchishige-san is doing? We've got things under control here. Oh yes, one more thing. Obviously, we'll all do our best, but none of us know what this battle with Amaterasu will bring. Perhaps this would be a good time for you to have a think about which karakuri might come in useful. When the unforeseen happens, even simple karakuri might just tip the balance in our favor. Amaterasu's suggestion. I'll do whatever if we can just get that karakuri working in time. I'll do whatever I can to help. I'll do whatever I can to help. I'll do whatever if we can just get that karakuri working in time.